Hey there, friends. Here talking about a new diagram that I have designed for you for C4. I'm going to get right to it. I've had so many questions around the feedback statements for component 4 and around just in general, like how in the world does the group profile go with the different types of assessment, and really what are the different types of assessments and all of that. So I want you to see this diagram. Reading from the bottom up, this is the way your group profile and your assessments work for C4. I'm not talking about your SLN, your student learning need, or your PLN, your professional learning need here. All right. So that is a totally different video or a totally different day. At the very bottom, kind of underneath the teaching, is you creating that group profile by gathering the information, knowing the students you teach, and collaborating with others to know them even better. That's what the group profile stands for. From that group profile, you're choosing a unit of study. Like, oh, here's what my kids need, or this meets their interests and their needs, or, they had weaknesses on a test here, so I'm going to do this. So the unit of study is in direct alignment with the group profile and what you learned about your students from collaborating with others. Then you have your goals for the unit. They are incredibly important because the goals are going to be what is thread through all three forms of assessment. And some people do a pretest. Some people do a pretest. Not everybody does that. Notice that I put the pretest before the teaching here, because for me, when I think about this, I really don't necessarily think about formative assessment as a pretest. Some people do. This is just Tracey, what Tracey thinks. Really, take it for what it's worth. But I see the pretest coming before the teaching. Then I see teaching. Notice here where I've got the teaching. And then after you've taught a little bit, you're going to do the formative assessment. That's during the unit. During the unit, you are monitoring student learning through formative assessment. You are enhancing opportunities to learn better toward those goals. That's what formative assessment represents for the National Board. And you're steering your teaching through the formative assessment. Now, between formative and self-assessments, you need to adjust instruction to determine those next steps from those formative results. You shouldn't just plow on through what you had planned exactly the way you had it planned. There's going to be modifications because that's why we use formative assessment. Now, the self-assessments, you have to use 3 different students. You can also use 3 different self-assessments. It's up to you. What do they represent? They represent a way to help students take ownership. So they should kind of ooze that. They are important to help students know the goals and to improve their own performance. So they should be goals-based, but not graded. They're not graded, just like the formative's not graded. And it's super important for you to recognize that if that document, that self-assessment is for you, then it will not help them take ownership. This should be for them. Self-assessments help them, and your feedback on those self-assessments is critical. You need to provide feedback to the students. You need to help the assessors understand how you're providing feedback so the students can know where are they toward the goals. At what level are they getting? Do they have the capacity for it, or do they need some more support? So again, what are you doing between self and summative? You are adjusting instruction from what you learned from the SSA results, student self-assessment. So you're not just like plowing on through because that's the next lesson. That's not what National Board Certified teachers do. They give feedback. They help the students know where they're at. They adjust their instruction. And then finally, in the end, they give the summative assessment, which is graded on a rubric by a score of some sort. It is a graded assignment. And that's when you're judging and evaluating their overall performance on all the goals or mastery of those goals for that unit. So this is everything summative. You might have a couple of goals in formative, but not all, or just one goal. You might have different goals in the self-assessment, but here you're going to have all the goals because see, by this time we've gone through the entire unit. And also after the summative assessment, you're going to use the results of it to create future goals and lessons from those results. And so you're going to be able to talk about that. Now notice here on the right, I've put analyze and reflect because the entire time you're teaching this unit, from teach to summative assessment, you must be analyzing and reflecting on A, your practice, and on B, their learning. And then that's what you're writing about. You're writing through your analytical lens about what you did, why you made those changes, how it impacted the students. So it's really like you being super diagnostic about this work and this unit and helping the assessor know the whys and the hows things moved and the what's coming next, in what ways you're going to change. So hopefully this triangle, you guys know how much I love a triangle, helps you to understand better exactly where that connection from that knowledge of students, I often refer to as KOS in the courses that I teach on this, that KOS, meaning that group profile information, all the way into that Gen of A, which is generation of assessment data. It goes all the way up through this entire triangle, okay? Hey, if you like it and you want to be a part of my Component 4 course, head on over to TraceyBryantStuckey.com. It's fun over there. I'll see you soon. Bye now.